Hi, everyone. My name is Janelle Braun-Barrick. I'm the Senior Director of App Exchange Sales and Alliances here at Silverline Emphasis for Calendar Anything. And I am joined by Lena Sin, our Senior Director of Product Management, who will be taking you through the latest release of Calendar Anything. We'll also have a little bit of a admin's corner where we'll go over some of our grouping limits and tips and tricks that we have within Calendar Anything. I do want to let you know, as far as housekeeping, we will be having actually, we need to update this. We're going to move it from January to February. We'll be getting emails probably mid-January. Wanted to make sure that we could have as many folks could come as possible. And we figured January is just kind of crazy in the Salesforce world. So we're actually going to update this to February, and we will also not be having office hours in January as well. So definitely make sure that you keep an eye on your inbox for the webinar that will be taking place in February. As far as our next release, we're on version 1.118. So if you're not on the latest version of Calendar Anything LWC, please reach out to us for links, or of course, you can always go on the Salesforce App Exchange, type in Calendar Anything, and you can upgrade to the latest version at any point. And of course, you can test it in Sandbox. You can also, of course, install it into production once you're ready. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Lena to go over our latest release of 1.118. And again, as you guys have questions, feel free to take yourself off mute, and also feel free to type into the chat. We'll answer any and all of your questions at the end. So Lena, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you.
Thank you, Janelle, and hello, everyone. Happy upcoming holidays. We're happy to see you here today. Thank you for joining us. So let me share my screen, and we're gonna dive right into 118. All right, can everyone see my screen? Great. Okay, so 118 was really a small release for us. We did release one new feature enhancement that I'm gonna cover today, but for majority of release, it was just fine-tuning code for performance and fixing some minor bugs that we found internally during testing. So the main feature enhancement that I want to showcase today was the ability to wrap text on the title field. So this came as part of the feedback that we heard from our clients, that long text on the title field gets cut off, and they want their users to have more information at a glance without them having to click on a record to see the full information. So in the previous releases, we have already enabled that for additional fields. So now it's enabled for title fields as well. So in this example here, I have my team events calendar, and I know that this event has a long subject that is being cut off at the moment. So to enable the text wrapping, we need to go all the way down to our display settings, select the checkbox here, and specify how many lines of text you want to see. So I have it set to 3. I'm gonna click save. And now if I scroll down to my long subject event, you can now see that we're seeing a full description here instead of it being cut off. So this is available in all views. So if I switch to week view, again, you can see a full description here as well, because we have a little space here. It's giving us more information here at a glance. Moving on to the admin corner, just a refresher on a couple of things that we offer within Calendar Anything. So one thing that we find a lot of clients are struggling with is the grouping options for our views with grouping, such as Gantt view, for example. So here in the grouping options section, we have an ability to select any field from the object the calendar is built on, and oftentimes that list can be very, very long. and it's difficult for the end user to find the field that they're looking for, or they use incorrect field. So the admins have an option to restrict that list. So to do that, the Calendar Anything admin will have to go to the admin settings section, find the field grouping limits, click on add. So here we're working with an opportunity calendar. So I'm gonna look for my opportunity object, click on the pencil here, and now I can say, okay, I don't want them to use all of the fields from the opportunity object, but they probably want to have the account name, maybe the assigned resource. I would probably also do opportunity owner, maybe a stage. Click save and save again. So now the calendar will refresh, and if I open this pick list now, I only see the fields that I have selected. So this is great for user adoption and just an ease of use of Calendar Anything for the end users. Moving on. So in Calendar Anything, we have an ability to display related list within a detail pop-up. So we're looking at the opportunities calendar again. I know that this specific opportunity has an opportunity team member or members that were added. In Calendar Anything, we can configure a detail pop-up to show related lists. And within related lists, we have a couple of interesting features that can be enabled. So we can control the fields or the columns that we are displaying here, as well as make this records hyperlinks. So if we want to add, let's say, another column here, so I want to see what visibility to this opportunity these team members have. I can go and edit this calendar. Go to my related list settings section and find my opportunity team members related list. I'm gonna click on the pencil here, and here we have some options here. So we can hyperlink to the record. We can also define a sorting field. So if I were to have, let's say, I don't know, 10 opportunity team members, I can define the way I want to sort that list. And here I can specify which columns I want to see. So right now we're showing the team member name and the team role. I want to also display opportunity access here. So I'm gonna move that field over and click save, save again. Okay, so now calendar just refreshed. I'm gonna open my detail pop-up again. I'm gonna click on my opportunity team member related list, and now you can see that Linda has edit access to this opportunity, but Helen only read access. So it's very easy to configure related lists on Calendar Anything detail pop-up, and this gives end users great visibility into the record without having to navigate to record detail itself. The next thing I wanna touch on is ability for Calendar Anything to add custom reminders to any object within Salesforce. So as you all know, Salesforce event object supports recurring events out of the box. But within Calendar Anything, you can, using similar mechanism, create recurring events for any object. So here I'm looking at my campaign calendar, and let's say I would like to create a recurring campaign. And instead of me creating 5 separate records, I can create one parent campaign and have an associated recurring campaigns with it. So from here, I'm just gonna show what that looks like when it's set up, and then we can go into details on how to set it up. So from here, I'm gonna select my campaign calendar. I'm gonna click OK. I'm gonna give it a name, SL newsletter. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a partner type, and here you see we have a recurrent section. So I'm gonna say yes, repeat this, and I want this monthly, and I want this on every second Thursday of the month, and I want this 5 times. I'm gonna click save. So what it does now, it creates 5 campaign records that has all the same information. It repeats on every second Thursday of the month for 5 months. So it's very time saving, very efficient way to create recurring records in Salesforce, not just for the event record, but for any standard or custom object in Salesforce. So how do we set it up? Very easy. So we have to do a couple of things. We need to create 2 custom fields on the campaign object. So let me open our campaign record here and go into object definition. So I'm gonna look for recurring. So here we have our recurrence pattern. And also we need to create a lookup field to the campaign. So I believe it's parent campaign custom field, which is a lookup to itself. So on the calendar anything side, if I go into the calendar setup, in calendar criteria section, you'll see that we have section for custom recurrence. So all I have to do here is point to my recurrence pattern field and point to my parent campaign field. And then on create and edit pop-up, all I have to do is just add my recurrence pattern field to the create and edit form. So with just a couple of clicks and small edits to the object, we have an ability to create recurring events or recurring records from calendar anything. So let's say if I need to delete this recurrence, our marketing team changed their mind. If I click onto the record and click on delete button, I get my confirmation message here. And then if I click OK, it's gonna ask me, do I want to delete just this event or this and following or all events? So this works very similar to how recurring events in for standard Salesforce event object is currently working. We also have a knowledge article with instructions on how to set it up. So we're going to be including that in our follow-up email with the recording as well. So I want to pause a little bit here and see if there are any questions. Okay, moving on. So the last thing on our agenda, we just wanted to go over best practices on how to create a new calendar. So I'm gonna use our custom object, solar panel unit bookings. And here we can see that in Salesforce, if I wanna see a list of my bookings, I can create a list view, and I have a list of all my bookings with start and end and some additional information. But then it makes it very difficult to actually picture like what day of the week is it, or how many I have, I don't know, in the upcoming weeks, months, and stuff. I can't really group this in any way. So what I want to do is I want to display this information on the calendar. So I'm gonna open a record detail just to see what fields I need to create my new calendar. So I probably need to, I want to see what my booking name is. I need start and end date, and also like the type and which units are we going to be installing in this particular case. So I'm going to navigate to calendar anything. I'm going to say I need to create a new calendar. You all familiar with our create form, so I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it solar panel bookings. I can change the color if I want. I'm gonna click next. So here is where most of the setup happens. So I'm gonna say, I know it's a custom object. I'm gonna search for my custom object here. I'm gonna select the booking object. I know I need to be using solar panel booking name as my title field. So I'm gonna find it here in the list. I know I need to use booking start as my start, booking end as my end. I do want to allow editing here. Everything else is optional, so we can skip that for now. I can also add a filter criteria. So for example, if I would like to create a calendar for a specific booking type, I can add that as a filter criteria in this step here, but we're going to skip that. So detail pop-up. So what do I want to see? I want to see exactly what I see here. So in calendar anything, I can just go in and select everything that I need. So I can either move events using the arrows, or I can double click and it will move it. So I want the booking type. I want the unit. I probably, let's see what else we have here. We want the custom reminder. Maybe the owner. Clicking next. This is where I define my create and edit form. So I can say I definitely need this, and type, and also the unit. How do we want to share this calendar? So we're using public groups as our sharing mechanism. So here I'm gonna say, probably I want to share this just with calendar anything team. I can add conditional coloring. So let's say just gonna use one level, and we want to conditionally color by type. Where's my type field? Booking type. And we're gonna make it, can we make it dynamic? No, because it's a pick list. So let's say we're gonna say this is gonna be this color. Maintenance gonna be this color, and so on. I can also add additional fields if there's anything I need to see at a glance, as well as configure a related list. Currently, the only related list option here we have is an opportunity. So I can add that as well here. I want to just quickly go back to calendar criteria for a second. So for the create, edit, and delete of the records for this calendar, we have several options. So we can use calendar anything default create form. We can also point this to Salesforce form, and we can hook it up to a flow. So if you have a specific flow that you're using to create this type of records, you can invoke that flow from calendar anything. I'm gonna click save. And I just created my solar panel booking calendar. I'm gonna turn it on. You can see we have some test data here, so it will immediately show up on the calendar as I configured it. I can click into it. It will show me my detail pop-up. I can edit from this calendar using the form that we just set up and make some changes. So creating a new calendar literally takes 5 minutes or less, as long as you have all the information that you want to display on a calendar handy. And the best way to do it is just to open a record that you're building a calendar for, so that you can see what type of information you want to display on the calendar. So I do have a bonus feature that I want to showcase. It's not on the agenda. So we have also recently added an option to control the buttons on the detail pop-up. So as you can see here, we have some custom buttons set up for this calendar. So I can either navigate to external links. So if I click on Zoom Info, it will redirect me to an external website. I can also get myself redirected to a record in Salesforce. I can click on preview. This is our standard button. We also have a reassign button, which will open a flow. So I can reassign this based on the flow. So the most recent change that we made to Calendar Anything is the ability to actually define how these buttons are working. So first of all, for default preview button, we added option not to show it. And this is coming from client feedback. Sometimes they don't want their users to navigate to user details. So removing the preview button removes that option from them. So if I uncheck this and click save, you will see that the preview button is no longer available here. So this is a really nice way to have more control over custom buttons here within Calendar Anything detail pop-up. So Janelle, this is all I have for today.
Amazing. You went through so much. I so appreciate it. I know Lena went through a ton. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to type your questions into chat. Or of course, oh, hi, Jolene.
Jolene.
Hi, how are you? I do have a question. And I'm
Yes.
sure I've asked this before numerous times, I have no doubt, but we've been so busy. I need to update our calendar or anything, which by the way, we're really pleased with it. We really like it. Our entire team uses it. Everybody's using it. So, but I do need to update it. I think I just looked it up. We're on version 1.1. We're on an old version. Now, I am concerned about updating it in the sandbox because I'm not very familiar with how to transfer that to production once I test it. So do you guys have any how-to videos or step-by-step or can you send me documentation so I can kind of look at that before I actually do the update in the sandbox?
Absolutely. I'm not sure if you have a document. I'll have to look it up and see, but it's really mega easy. So we can send you installation links for both sandbox and production. So first
Okay.
you will use the sandbox link to update the sandbox.
Okay.
You tap on the sandbox. If everything looks good, no issues, you use the same link, but the one that has production on it, and you update your production. You don't need to do anything else. So there is nothing for you to push from sandbox to production via change set or anything like that. It's two separate links. One you use to install in the sandbox, and then if everything looks good, you use the second link to update your prod.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, thank you. That was my question because
Yep.
it looks really good. All the updates you guys have done. I mean, they look amazing. Every time I see it, it gets better and better. And I just want to make sure my team has what they're using.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we don't have so much the problem of loading time anymore. I mean, that's gotten better. And I think with the update, it'll do even much better. But if you could really, and I know I've asked this before, come up with some type of printing that would print the Gantt so I can get rid of Conga, that would be great. Because while I appreciate Conga, it'd be nice just to be able to click on your printing and have it formatted in Excel the way Conga does. Conga's not user friendly. It's just not. So, and I haven't come up with a different solution yet. So,
we definitely have it on the backlog. It's more difficult than it you think it would be. Gantt charts are really complex, and to be able to print them the same way that they appear on the calendar or anything, it's a little bit challenging. But we do have it on the backlog, so we'll definitely look at it again in the upcoming years. And thank you
Awesome.
for all your support, and we're happy that your users are happy.
Yeah, they're very happy, and they're very, very happy. We did have our parent company, our owner, was going to get their own Salesforce, but I think we're just going to put them in ours. But they were looking, Salesforce actually sent them a link for a different app that was a visualization tool. And I told them, no, we're not using that. We have Calendar Anything. That's who we use. And I'm not changing my stuff. So there's no point in you getting that. If you're going to integrate with us, we're just going to use the same one. And so I think they've decided, though, to just go ahead and we'll give them access to ours, you know. But just so you guys know, and I asked the sales rep, I said, you know, why aren't you promoting Calendar Anything? Because we've used it for years and it's great. And he didn't really have an answer for me. So just as an FYI.
We're not surprised.
Yeah. And it was just as an FYI, because I was just like, no, I'm not going to change mine. So, but thank you, girls.
Of
Yep,
course. Always.
absolutely.
And well, Jolene, after I hop off here, I'm going to go ahead and just give you the latest links. It'll be a link to Sandbox install and a link to production. If you have any questions when you're upgrading, just let us know.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, guys. Have a good Merry Christmas and happy
Yeah,
holidays.
you as well.
Okay.
We'll talk with everyone soon. Hope to see you at our webinars in February.